What does diabetes mean to you? Something to do with sugar, right? Would you be shocked if I told you that every 6 seconds someone dies from diabetes? 1 in 11 adults worldwide has diabetes, with 1 in 2 not being diagnosed. So it is important that we all know what it is, how it can be detected, and how we can control it. Diabetes is a condition where levels of blood glucose are too high, because the body cannot use it properly. This could be because the pancreas doesn't produce enough or any insulin, or the insulin is not working properly. Insulin helps glucose leave our blood and enter into our body's cells. Let's have a look at this process in a little more detail. Your body digests carbohydrates, breaking it down into glucose. Your liver also produces glucose. Insulin is a hormone produced by the pancreas that allows glucose to enter into our body's cells. Here it is used to provide energy to undergo our normal life processes, like growth and repair. If you have diabetes, your body cannot make proper use of this glucose, and so it builds up in our blood and cannot be used by cells. There are 2 main types of diabetes. Type 1 is when there is no insulin at all, whereas type 2 is when there is insulin present, but either there isn't enough or it isn't working properly. Type 1 diabetes is an autoimmune response, where the body destroys its own insulin-making cells. This type has nothing to do with diet or lifestyle, and currently there is no cure. Just daily treatment on insulin injections or pumps. The symptoms of type 1 diabetes are thirst, needing to regularly pass urine, tiredness, and weight loss, and can occur very suddenly. Without any insulin, the glucose cannot enter the cells, so the cells cannot use it for energy. Therefore, the body has to break down fats to use that for energy instead, and hence weight loss. Whilst type 1 diabetes can appear at any age, it usually appears before the age of 40, and type 1 accounts for most cases of childhood diabetes. Type 2 diabetes usually appears in people over the age of 40, but it is becoming more common in children and younger people. It accounts for between 85 and 95% of all diabetes and is treated with a healthy diet and regular exercise. Medication and/or insulin are also often used. Where the development of type 1 diabetes is often sudden and dramatic, the symptoms for type 2 are much more mild, making it harder to detect. There are some key risk factors associated with type 2 diabetes, including a family history of diabetes, being overweight, having an unhealthy diet, not doing much or any physical activity, age, high blood pressure, and ethnicity, where South Asians have a greater risk. Due to the risk factors, you may not be surprised to hear that lifestyle changes can help prevent the development of type 2 diabetes by achieving a healthy body weight. 30 minutes of exercise a day can reduce your risk of developing type 2 diabetes by 40%. So now you should know the difference between type 1 and type 2 diabetes, and that by maintaining a healthy lifestyle, you can reduce your risk of getting type 2 diabetes.
How to stop itching from diabetes. Diabetics frequently experience horrible itching. It is a common side effect of elevated blood glucose levels, which is the defining factor of diabetes. If you suffer from unbearable itchiness, this WikiHow article explains ways that you can soothe your irritated skin. Stopping the itch with lifestyle changes. Prevent skin from getting dry. Keep your skin moist and healthy by using moisturizers and skin creams. Avoid scented creams and lotions, because you could have a reaction to them, causing more itching. Moisturize twice a day. Every time you shower, use 1 ounce or 2 tablespoons to moisturize your whole body, or use as needed. You should also avoid using scented soaps because the chemicals in it can cause skin to get dry and irritated. Use mild, unscented soaps instead. Change your bathing style. Too frequent bathing can cause itching to get worse. Limit baths to once every 2 days. Bathing frequency can vary depending on climate, weather, and your activities. However, once in 2 days should suffice. Avoid using very hot water, it tends to make the skin more irritated. Use water at room temperature or lower. Hot water dilates vessels, speeding up metabolism of insulin, which can trigger hypoglycemia. Another reason why diabetics should not use hot water is diabetics suffering from nerve damage lose sensitivity to pain and temperature and may unknowingly burn themselves with hot water. Care for your skin in the summer. Summer is a time of sun and fun, but sun can also seriously irritate skin. To lessen itching in the summer, wear clothes made from light materials like cotton, chiffon or linen. Certain cloths like wool and silk can cause irritation and itching. Make sure to keep the skin dry from sweat as too much humidity can cause itching sometimes. Drink plenty of water to keep skin hydrated. Drink 8 glasses 8-ounce glass of water per day. However, if you engage in rigorous activity or live in an arid climate, you may need to drink more water. Take care of your skin in the winter. Skin easily gets dry in winter, which is why it is very important for diabetics to keep skin well moisturized and hydrated. Moisturize your skin twice a day using unscented lotion. Switching on a humidifier when the heat is on also relieves and prevents itching from getting worse. Lower your stress. Itching is exacerbated by feeling stress. This means that when you are in stressful situations, your itching increases. To combat feeling stressed, practice relaxation. These include practicing meditation. Meditation is letting your mind become empty and releasing stress that you hold inside you. Meditate a few minutes each morning to stay relaxed throughout the day. Using the trigger word method. Pick a phrase that is calming to you, like, "It will be okay," or "All is well." When you start to feel stressed, take several deep breaths and repeat your trigger phrase in your head until you feel calm.
Insulin and glucagon. In a previous lesson, we learned about hormones and their roles in regulating and maintaining important processes in our body. In this lesson, you will learn about how your blood glucose level is regulated or controlled by 2 important hormones, insulin and glucagon, via a negative feedback system. When you consume a meal that is high in carbohydrates, such as rice, pasta and bread, this will cause your blood glucose level to increase. Carbohydrates are essentially long chains of repeating glucose monomer units, much like beads on a necklace. During digestion, this is broken apart into glucose, which is absorbed into our bloodstream. This increased blood glucose level causes a gland known as the pancreas to secrete a hormone called insulin. Remember that a gland secretes hormones which act on specific target organs. In this case, the target organ is your liver, which is stimulated to convert glucose to glycogen. Glycogen is basically long multi-branch chains of glucose monomers stored in liver and muscle cells. Insulin also causes your body cells to uptake or take in glucose. So this decreases your blood glucose level back to its optimal state. When this system is faulty, this leads to a medical condition known as diabetes. If you want to learn more about diabetes, this will be addressed in another video. The same response also occurs when you consume foods and drinks high in sugar, such as sweets, cakes and fizzy drinks. When your blood glucose level drops, such as when you are hungry, the pancreas secretes a hormone called glucagon. Like insulin, the target organ for glucagon is also the liver, though it stimulates the opposite process, the breakdown of glycagon into glucose. This increases your blood glucose level back to its optimal state. So to review, insulin and glucagon are 2 hormones released by the pancreas, which act on the liver to regulate our blood glucose level.
After your pancreas transplant, you shouldn't require any more insulin. And so in many ways, you are cured of the blood sugar problems associated with diabetes. In fact, most patients who have undergone a pancreas transplant no longer consider themselves diabetic.
Hey guys, this is Howie on the NCLEX topic, types of insulin. Meet Andy! He has diabetes. Recently he's been tired all the time and he can't control his blood sugar. So why is that important? Well, because you need your sugar to be able to climb mountains and stuff. You need to have a lot of energy, and you can only get that from sugar. So what's the problem? Well, first of all, the problem is that the insulin is made by the pancreas, and if your pancreas doesn't work, then there's little to no insulin to help get that glucose into your body. So what's the significance? Well, fortunately, nurses can administer insulin to Andy. Woot woot! Now, why is that important? Well, it's because we want Andy's blood sugar to be neither too high nor too low. There are grave complications for Andy if his blood sugar is one or the other. So there's 4 types, and that's rapid, short-acting, intermediate, and long-acting. All 4 insulin types have an onset of action, peak action times, duration, and the time of unwanted side effects, which are called adverse reactions. So that means that the type of insulin works at different speeds in order to provide insulin to Andy's body right when he needs it most. So here we have rapid-acting insulin, which is a Humalog and Novolog. It's easy to remember because they have log in their names. And that's what you use for emergency situations when somebody needs insulin really badly, usually when they have hyperglycemia. That's too much sugar. Next, am I recording this? Oh yeah. So the next thing we have is short-acting insulin. Where is it? There it is! Humulin and Novolin R. So you can remember this is short-acting because it has R, which stands for recombinant insulin, which means we grew it on a bacteria. It's for humans, so don't worry. Next we have NBH intermediate, which is a middle-acting insulin. It lasts roughly about 10 to 12 hours because it was named after the scientist that discovered it, Haggernon. And whoa, we're going really fast. Okay, so long-acting insulin takes long-acting. So usually given at night when patients are asleep, so that it can continue to keep going. You don't have to worry too much because it doesn't work very quickly. In fact, it takes all night long. So as long as you know that the different insulins work in different ways, for example, rapid-acting insulin works within 15 minutes, short-acting works within 30 minutes, long-acting works all night, and intermediate-acting works from 10 to 12 hours.